another. Unfortunately, my roommate, he did move away, so that's kind of sad. Usually he's part of these, but we got somebody a little better. We got the Indian boy himself. Something. You're not gonna know his last name.
Yeah.
Don't find his social security number.
Even if you get my last name, it's like a million of us.
Do you wanna introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, I'm Indian.
That's true.
Best genetics. Great genetics, actually. 6'4".
6'1".
230 pounds.
So how do you? Okay, so you've been in this boarding school for how long?
2 months now?
2 months. Okay.
Almost 2 months.
How did you deal with the transition from being home to a new place?
For me, it was just I started the year off with like a lot of drama and like missing my family as well.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part for me was like getting used to these people, or like getting used to the fact that I'm living with my friends.
Yeah. So I think, okay, so let's extrapolate a little bit. So for like the common person, most people aren't going to a boarding school, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Have you ever been in an environment like you go to a new area, you don't know many people, like maybe a new school or anything like that?
Oh, I've been to like I think this is my 13th school.
13th?
Yeah.
Really? Why are you moving like school to school?
Parents.
That's fair. Just moving around.
He was moving around.
Military?
No,
No. Okay.
business owners. That's weird.
Like business owners. What do you mean?
They just move around a lot.
That's fair. That's understandable. Okay. So how have you been like? How's your experience been like moving school to school, new people?
For me, at first it was bad. Now it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Like I could low-key go to high school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And by the end of the day, I have a ride or die.
Okay.
I'm just really good at making friends sometimes.
What are your tips for socializing for people who may not that I have that problem, of course not. You know, I'm the Rizzler himself.
Why you lying?
Okay, but what would be your advice to somebody who does struggle to socialize? Why are you looking at me?
I'm trying to think. You don't want to be scared to talk to people. Nobody's above you. No celebrity, no politician. Nobody's above you. So speak to them as if they were equal to you. Socializing wise, don't be scared to look stupid, because if you look stupid, a lot of the time you'll never talk to them again. And if you do, it's just like one off. But if you're good at it, you made a new friend. So the reward's way higher than the risk.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, they just think you're weird and you never see or talk to that person.
Exactly.
What would you say to somebody who's like they go to school, right? Going like class to class, but they're just afraid to talk to someone. How does somebody get over their fear of talking to people? Talk in general, like just talking to people, they're afraid to do so. What would your advice be to that person?
You find one friend who's willing to put you out there. You make
okay.
one good friend.
It's like the extrovert adopts the introvert.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest. Like that's the most
common method. Do you think people can over socialize or under socialize? Okay.
a lot. Like people can under socialize. That's very easy to do.
Of course.
Over socializing, that's a little bit harder. But I've fallen into that boat where
Okay, tell me more.
I just talk to people way too much, where I'm not locked in on schoolwork. Like I think I was getting to the point where I was talking to people like 8 hours a day and just like more than I'm in school.
We did talk about that a little bit earlier. That your grades did suffer a little bit too because of the socializing. But don't worry, guys. We got him on a treatment plan.
We got him on a treatment plan.
Tell me a little bit more about you go to a new environment. How do you feel? Do you feel nervous, scared? What do you feel personally?
Obviously I feel nervous, but
Yeah, of course.
like from day one, this is gonna sound really shallow.
Yeah.
But I start like searching and like looking at the social groups, like what's the social hierarchy, where do I want to be at the school. So like one school I'll be like, oh, like at first when I like realized there's like social hierarchies to every school,
Yeah.
I would look for the popular group. Like let me like put in like 5 tiers. So popular, like semi-popular, known, semi unpopular, and unpopular. I was always going for the popular.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is those people are very shallow, just like the whole example.
Yeah.
But if you go for these like the second or third level, that's the golden level.
Like genuine people.
Yeah, that's where the genuine people are. But that's where the people who socialize and
Best of both worlds, right?
yeah. and you're not gonna be like
Mhm.
unpopular, so you always have somebody to go to and stuff.
So, have you ever experienced loneliness at this school? Have you ever been
At this
lonely?
school,
Have you ever been lonely here or anywhere else?
I've been lonely at other schools. Here,
Mm-hmm.
there's been times where I was lonely, but I've never like actually been lonely. It's just like me feeling lonely.
Why do you feel lonely if you have people around you?
If I have people around me, it wasn't the people I wanted around me.
Oh, okay. Can you expand a little bit on that?
So like maybe I was like with a friend group that I just didn't want to be with when I wanted to be with another friend group,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe like I'm with my friend group, but there's like
Yeah.
somebody that I wanted to be with.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't
Did I
there.
stare, bro? You immediately just stared at me. What are you trying to say? He said, I'm with one friend when I want to be with another friend group, and bro dead stared at me for like 5 seconds.
Because I was trying to hit at who I was talking about.
God.
I was talking about somebody else.
It was just funny that you just dead stared at me for like 5 minutes. That was so funny. But yeah, so you can feel lonely despite people
Yeah,
having people
yeah.
around you. Okay. So is it you don't like their company or like what exactly gets you to feel like
In
lonely?
that scenario,
Yeah.
it was more like I wanted the attention of some like that one specific person. Like,
okay. Mm-hmm.
they just weren't there,
Mhm.
and like the attention of those other people just wasn't filling the void.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
That's
feeling lonely.
I understand. That's fair. So let's talk about aside from the boarding school, have you ever felt lonely at any other school? Like have you just not had friends or anything like that?
No,
Really? So you've always had somebody.
I've always like besides like that one like we were with people and you want to be with somebody else.
Always have someone around you.
I've always had friends wherever I go.
This topic is going to be, we're talking currently about like being in a new place, right?
Mhm.
What are some other aspects of being in a new place that are kind of scary, that make people feel uncomfortable?
The fake people.
Fake people. Can you elaborate on that?
Okay, so there's. Here's a story, and I want to try to keep it as private as
Of
possible,
course.
like anonymous as possible.
Mhm.
Before I got moved into the school,
Mhm.
I was in this big group chat.
Yeah.
And I said some things not too favorable,
Mhm.
but it was all as jokes.
Yeah.
And since it was like through text, it just didn't seem like that.
Yeah.
And so there was a whole second group chat just talking shit about me.
Really? People here?
It was, people here.
What?
It was so bad. And so when I came here, people were like, "Oh, you're not as bad as I thought you were."
Really?
And I didn't know about this group chat until like 4 weeks into the school year.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't there also another group chat that was like rating people's looks, right? People
That
got
was
in
a
trouble
group
for
chat.
that. That's crazy.
But it wasn't the looks. That's
Mhm.
the part of the group chat.
Is different group chats then?
I'll go more in depth, but it was just me.
Oh, of course, yeah, okay. Gotta make sure it's private. But yeah. Any other aspects? So we've talked about friends, food.
Yeah.
Any other aspects of being in a new place that people find scary, or you found scary personally?
Nothing that's scary, just like
Mhm.
things I've noticed.
Like what?
Like, like the people you hang out with, that's gonna define what you do.
Yeah.
So if you hang out with people who aren't like locked in on school,
Mhm.
that's gonna be you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to be locked in on school,
Mhm.
you gotta surround yourself with people who are locked in. You gotta get yourself away from those
Yeah.
people,
Yeah. Who
or
are
limit yourself.
You become a reflection of the people you hang out with. But I get you. Become a reflection of the people you know. So advice would be: what's your advice to somebody who's going to a new school or a new town, new environment?
Don't judge people too quickly.
That's fair.
Let it play out. Give it
Mhm.
a few weeks. That weird kid might be your best friend.
That's true.
I was not saying anything against you.
Okay, I understand. That's fair.
Yeah, that weird kid.
It's like the fucking. That's fair. But okay, that's understandable. Any other any other advice? So don't judge people too quickly. What else?
Stay away from relationships. They'll haunt you. Stay away from crushes. They will haunt you.
Mhm.
If you think it's gonna work out, it might not work out.
Mhm.
Like, just don't expect too much.
So people go into a new environment,
Yeah.
and advice would be Don't expect too much out of people relationship wise, and don't judge them too quickly. What else?
I think that's it. To be honest, like you do you.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Like, actually, it's gonna sound really bad. Don't be yourself immediately. Let people think you're normal until you like show your true character.
Once you're friends with them.
When you find your friends, and then at that time they might drop you. That's why you have multiple friend groups. So you find the one that's like for you.
Don't become too dependent on one friend group.
Yeah.
Because if anything happens with that friend group, you're kind of
left in the
You're kind of cooked. Diversify your portfolio. Diversify your stocks. Make sure that if there's a market crash, you'll be fine.
Don't put all your money in one stock.
Yeah, because if that stock goes down, you're cooked.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can do. Have you seen that ever play out on somebody? Where have you ever seen that play out on somebody where they put all their money in one basket and then they who?
Yeah.
Of course, not say like name, but like
I can say name.
Well, yeah, first name. Oh yeah, that's true.
His friend kind of bailed on him.
Which one?
The moral of the story: find the right friend group for you.
Of course. Make sure the people who you feel comfortable around you can be real with. Right?
Yeah.
I did this by not telling anybody about my YouTube channel until like I knew them, and then that's that. Now I have them on the podcast. That's how you know I made it. There's on the podcast.
Sorry for the bottom that we hear.
They didn't believe in us. God. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. Any other last comments? Anything like that? Any comments you would say to a person who is about to go to a new environment or is in a new environment? They're scared, nervous. What would you say to them?
Just let the wind take you.
Just
let the go with the flow.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, everything will go good.
I think that's what I'd give advice is it's gonna be okay. Like no matter what happens, you're gonna be fine.
Like life will go on.
Yeah, regardless if you have like a great high school experience or a bad high school experience.
It's just 4 years.
Yeah, just make sure your grades are up. Make sure your grades are up in the clubs. Get into a good college, and then just do or trade school, whatever you want to do, and just live your life.
Yeah, live your life.
This is just like a trial to adulthood. Like once you're an adult, do whatever the hell you want, right?
Exactly.
It's gonna bother you.
Except sell drugs.
Except sell drugs.
You don't want to be like Elazar.
Yeah, Elazar, he was a drug dealer. Perks. I'm gonna take his part out. So I'm not gonna say anything else.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.